Have you ever stopped in silence and truly asked yourself, why do people really fall in love with me? Is it because of my physical appearance, the shape of my face, the way I dress, or the beauty of my smile? Is it because of my talents, the things I can do that others admire? Or perhaps because of my charm, the way my words sound pleasing, or the way I carry myself in public? These may be the first answers that come to mind. And in truth, yes, appearance, talents, and charm may attract someone for a short while. They may stir curiosity. They may ignite desire. But they are like flames of a candle in the wind, bright for a moment, yet vulnerable to fading quickly. The Buddha teaches us something much deeper. He tells us that love, in its most profound form, is not simply an emotion of the heart or a fleeting desire of the body. It is not something that clings, grasps, or demands. Instead, love is a reflection of the mind you nurture, the state of your soul, and the subtle energy you pour into the world around you. And so when people truly fall in love with you, not just attracted to you, not just fascinated by you, but deeply in love with you, it is not because of something on the surface. It is because of something eternal, something invisible, something that words can hardly capture, but hearts can always feel. Today, we are going to explore 3 profound reasons why people fall in love with you, not because of how you appear on the outside, but because of who you are within. So let us take this inward journey together. Reason 1. People fall in love with your inner peace. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Let those words sink in. Peace does not arrive in your life because the world suddenly becomes calm. Peace is not given to you by circumstances, or by wealth, or by the approval of others. Peace is something you cultivate deep within your own being. Now pause and think about the world we live in today, a world that moves faster than ever before. A world filled with endless demands, constant noise, flashing screens, breaking news, and an overwhelming flood of information. A world where almost everyone is running, chasing, striving, fearing, worrying. In such a restless age, finding a person who is calm, centered, and at peace is like discovering water in the middle of a desert. Rare, precious, life-giving. And that is why people fall in love with your inner peace. When you cultivate stillness within yourself, through meditation, through mindfulness, through letting go, your presence itself becomes medicine. You don't need to speak. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to perform. People feel your energy before you say a single word. Imagine this. A person is overwhelmed, burdened by thoughts, drowning in anxiety, and restless in their soul. But then they come near someone who is calm, grounded, steady, like a great tree that has stood through countless storms. Suddenly, without knowing why, they begin to breathe more easily. Their heart rate slows, their thoughts soften, their burdens feel lighter. They don't just notice that calmness, they fall in love with it, because your peace gives them hope. It heals something inside of them that they didn't even know was bleeding. Inner peace is never loud. It does not boast. It does not demand recognition. But its silence, its gentle vibration, speaks more loudly than any words could ever speak. This is why people are drawn to you. This is why they love you. Because in a world of chaos, you have chosen to be a sanctuary. Reason 2. People fall in love with your compassion. The second reason is compassion, what Buddhism calls karuna. Compassion is not pity. It is not weakness, and it is not something you do only when it is easy. Compassion is strength. It is courage. It is the noble power of the awakened heart. The Buddha taught us that true love is not about control. It is not about possession. It is not about demanding something in return. True love, in its purest form, is simply the wish to see another being free from suffering. And when you live with compassion, people notice. They remember. Think of the small acts of love you have given in your life. Maybe you once stayed awake deep into the night just to comfort a friend who was broken, not offering solutions, but simply sitting with them in their darkness. Maybe you gave a helping hand to someone who had nothing to offer you back, but you did it anyway because your heart wouldn't let you walk away. Maybe you forgave someone, not because they deserved forgiveness, but because you did not want hatred to live inside your chest. These are the moments that others fall in love with, not because you made them feel impressed, but because you made them feel human again. And compassion does not always need to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes it is found in the smallest things. A smile to a stranger who thought nobody noticed them. A gentle word to someone who feels invisible. A quiet patience in a moment when others would choose anger. These little seeds of compassion, planted again and again with sincerity, grow into flowers that people never forget. People fall in love with you, not because you are perfect, but because your heart chooses kindness in a world where kindness is often forgotten. Reason 3. People fall in love with your authenticity. The third reason is perhaps the rarest. Authenticity. The Buddha encouraged us to discover our true nature, not the roles we play, not the masks we wear, not the image we project to the world, but the deep truth of who we are when we stand naked in spirit, without pretense. In a world obsessed with performance, where everyone is trying to prove themselves, where social media teaches people to wear masks of perfection, authenticity is rare. And because it is rare, it shines like gold. People fall in love with you when you are simply yourself, when you are not trying to impress, when you are not trying to fit into a mold, when you allow your imperfections to show not as flaws, but as signs of your humanity. They fall in love with the way you laugh at your own mistakes instead of hiding them. They fall in love with the way you can say, "I don't know, but I am willing to learn." They fall in love with the way you speak truth, gently, without forcing, without pretending to be someone you're not. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws people in, not because you shine with perfection, but because you shine with honesty. And the people who see your authentic self and love you not despite it, but because of it, are the people whose love truly matters. People don't fall in love with the mask you wear. They fall in love with the courage it takes to remove the mask. So, why do people truly fall in love with you? It is not your appearance. Though beauty may catch their eyes, it is not your possessions. Though wealth may attract curiosity, it is not your charm, though words may briefly enchant. The love that lasts, the love that is real, arises from the deeper currents of your being. They fall in love with your peace, because your calmness heals their storms. They fall in love with your compassion, because your kindness touches their wounds. They fall in love with your authenticity, because your truth allows them to finally rest from pretending. In essence, people fall in love with your energy. And as the Buddha reminds us, what you are is what you have been. What you will be is what you do now. So let this be your reminder. Love always begins within. When you nurture your soul, when you water the roots of your being, when you tend to the inner garden of peace, kindness, and truth, others are naturally drawn to your light. You do not have to chase love. You only have to be love. And in your being, love will always find you. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to continue walking on this journey with me. Subscribe for more wisdom, inspired by the timeless teachings of the Buddha, and let these truths serve as a mirror for your own life. And always remember, what you radiate into the world is what returns to you. So radiate peace, radiate compassion, radiate authenticity, because that is what people will always deeply, truly fall in love with.